Hey, barbecue family.
Happy Friday, everybody. Smoking Joe's already in there. Hi, Smoking Joe.
It's so nice to see you guys. Let us know if you're in the chat by commenting. We'd love to see you guys. It's Friday.
Friday. It is Friday. Yeah, this is the dance that we do every Friday, guys, because I don't know. Okay, that's
sorry.
more like
Not
a
that.
punching bag. That's not
I don't want to punch you in the face, honey.
that's not really so much of a dance, but an aggressive movement.
Sorry. We're not working out right now.
No, but we always like to dance on Friday because I don't know about you guys, but this week it did feel like it flew by, but it also felt like a long one.
I know. Here in Canada, it starts to get dark at like 4 now.
Yeah.
So it feels like the days are just flying by because there's not really much to do at the end of the day when it's pitch black. You can't go outside. But guys, the good news is it's almost Christmas.
Oh my goodness, thank goodness. What day is it today?
I think it's like
November 20th. Okay,
Yeah.
It's not really almost Christmas, but I feel like this year we're all looking to start celebrating much earlier the holidays this year.
hence that counts. It's almost Christmas.
Yeah.
It's almost December, which means it's almost Christmas. If the Christmas movies are on Netflix, that means it's almost Christmas. And they are.
Okay, so guys, let us know in the comments, I guess not down below, to the side or to the side here, I guess that way, if you are in the chat, because the only thing about going live on YouTube is that as opposed to Instagram, we can see when people are coming on. We can see who is on right now, but we can't actually see unless you comment. So let us know in the comments if you're here watching with us, because I would like to see them.
Me too.
I know that's not an option here, but I would like to see you guys.
Although last time we did this, someone mentioned that we could see everybody if we did a Zoom. So
True.
I would be okay with that sometime, guys. If you want us to see you, because I would really like to see you guys. But please comment, let us know who's in here, because we'd like to say hi, happy Friday. And let's get started, honey. Today we are making a brisket. We're smoking a brisket.
We're smoking a brisket, but it's more so brisket prep because anybody who knows, we know that we have many members of the barbecue family who watch us, and they're probably thinking, how the heck are Maddie and Kiki gonna go live and do a brisket live? Okay, because are we gonna be hanging out for 12 hours here? Because that's usually how long it takes to make a brisket. They take a long time. We've already done one though, thank goodness, because I would like to hang out with you guys for that long. But I don't know if you guys would want to hang out with us for that long.
Do you got your jammies on? Because that's going to go through the night. It's already 2 p.m. here. But we've already done a brisket. We took it all the way to burnt ends because Maddie and I love burnt ends, even though I can't try these now. They smell fantastic.
I know. This is really cruel.
But we're going to do the same thing. We're going to show you how we prep our briskets, what we're going to rub it with today, what we're going to put on the outside before we put the rub on, and talk about how we smoke it. And then we're going to show you the one we smoked yesterday, which took about almost 12 hours.
Yeah, that's usually how long they take. But we've taken the time out of it. We're here to have fun. We're here to prep the actual brisket. Let us know if you guys have any questions about brisket. We'd be happy to answer them. And I think let's just get started.
Okay. So we don't do briskets all that often. Oh, Smoking Joe. He's here we go. Okay. That just like all flooded up at the same time. Okay. Smoking Joe said, why can't you eat the brisket, Kiki? Smoking Joe, we've mentioned this in a lot of our videos. I have a serious medical condition and have to be on a plant-based diet now exclusively, which is so ironic given the fact that we're in the barbecue world, but I'm feeling way better now. So
when it's all about health comes first, and also more for me. More for me.
That's the truth.
Hi, Brittany Caldwell. Nice to see you. She's in her jammies. I'm getting my jammies the second this is over.
That's one good thing about it getting dark that early. I feel like I go right from dinner to jammies.
Yeah, I know. There's nothing wrong with that.
Okay, here we go. Let's get right into this, guys. So we are starting off with a giant brisket. This brisket comes to us from Helenda's Meats in Oshawa. That's where we get all of our meat.
So let's just get in there close so everybody can see it
So
here.
check out this brisket we have for you here today, guys. So we're going to start off with trimming it. And you guys have probably seen a lot of people do brisket videos where they're wearing those black gloves. We don't really get the glove thing.
No,
okay? Gloves are cool, but if you have really, really washed hands, if you're starting off with very, very clean hands to begin with, you don't need to do the gloves.
No, I don't know. I would love to know why people are afraid to touch their food that they're about to eat.
No.
There's nothing wrong. Obviously, we want to start with beautifully washed, clean hands. That's like obviously the key part there. But I don't know why some people are like, I don't like to touch meat. But do you like to eat meat? Because if you like to eat it, you shouldn't be afraid to touch it.
Exactly. So even if you have gloves on, your hands should be still like very, very, very clean. But we don't like to use gloves. We're just super washed hands. I'm not wearing any rings. I don't have any nail polish on. That's also something that I like to not have nail polish on.
And I do. There's nothing wrong with that if you want that too. Brian, no gloves. Clearly, Harry Sue didn't teach you. Yeah, Harry's he's a glove man. There's nothing wrong with that. We are not glove girls.
Exactly. Smokin' Joe said, let's just see here. Smokin' Joe said, oh, God bless you for that. Hey, cows eat grass their entire lives. That's healthy. That kind of counts, doesn't
Good
it?
attitude, Smokin' Joe. Good attitude.
Does that mean cows are plant-based? I'll take it if I can try the brisket.
Oh, Kathy's in here. She's getting her oil change at the moment.
Okay, so Kathy, maybe you can check on later when this gets posted. You can see our finished brisket burn ends. So let's get trimming.
What a nice thing to be watching, though, while you're getting your oil changed. Because I don't know about you guys, but that is really boring. Just waiting there in the room, sitting with other people, waiting. A lot of people getting their car or their tires changed.
Especially this time of year, and it's going to take like 20 years. Okay, so let's get to the trimming, guys. So there is no real science to trimming a brisket. A lot of people like to say exactly how they do it. They think that that's the exact right way to do it. I like to just have at it. Yeah. I know so does Honey.
Yes,
okay?
we do. Barbecue Man's on. Hello, Barbecue Man.
Hi, Barbecue Man.
He came just at the right moment. We're about to get trimming on this brisket.
Okay, so the first tip we'd like to offer you if you're going to trim a brisket is make sure that you're taking a brisket out of the fridge ice cold. So
yes,
you'll notice with this one, the fat is very, very hard, and that makes it a lot easier to trim it off. So if you let your brisket come to room temperature, which some people like to do before they get it onto the grill, the fat is going to be a lot mushier, and it's going to make it a lot harder to trim. Okay?
Yeah. Smokin' Joe, I'm right here. He's like, who's filming? A ghost? I'm right here. Okay. Yeah, so that was a really good tip. Because as you guys know, when fat gets warm, it gets greasy, it gets slippery. We're not looking for that. Okay.
And before you even get started, you want to start off with a very, very sharp knife. I want to be careful not to get it onto Maddie here. But really, the sharper the better when it comes to trimming, because that's going to make your life a lot easier. And the goal here is that you want to make your brisket basically as aerodynamic as you can. So you want the smoke to flow over it nicely. You don't want any big bits sticking out that's going to prevent that from happening. So you just want to start. The hardest part is just getting right in there. So you just want to begin taking off the fat. You want there to be an even layer of fat along the whole brisket. And this is kind of like a labor-intensive process. You want to take your time.
You want to take your time because you don't want to go too deep. If you start just hacking at it, you might get down to the meat part, and that's not what you want to do. You want to take your time, see how deep the fat goes, and just see as you go. So
speaking of Harry Sue, when we were trimming briskets with him in Chicago last year, I've done right here what Harry Sue calls giving it a haircut. Okay? So if you've gone a little bit too deep, that's okay. So when the brisket's done, you're not going to see that. But if you happen to just get a little bit of a gouge in there, that's fine.
It's fine.
It's not the end of the world.
It's not nothing when it comes to brisket, especially. You just want to, barbecue's like a big experiment. You want to have fun. You don't want to take it too seriously because a lot of people do, but we're all learning. No matter if you've done 20 briskets before or 200, you'll learn something new every time. Wouldn't you agree with that, Key?
100%. 100%.
All right, let's check this out.
And you guys have seen our videos. We do a lot of different things on the grill. So brisket, we love doing briskets, but that's not something that we're constantly doing either because we kind of get bored of them. After a while, it's like, you've done a brisket, great, but we like doing all sorts of things on the grill. So, okay, I'm just going to continue on this side. I don't know if you guys can see this when I turn it this way.
Come over here this way.
Okay. We're going to keep trimming and keep trimming. Being very, very careful not to touch our hands here. And what we like to do is grab one piece of the fat and then just pull it out and then let your knife do the work here. So we're just going to continue bringing it forward.
Hi, Cooking with Steven and Jacqueline. Good afternoon. How are you guys? We're just in the middle of cutting up, trimming up a brisket here.
Okay. And then there's lots of hard bits on a brisket. So you want to make sure that you're getting those off, because some people think that leaving quite a bit of fat on a brisket is going to give it a lot of flavor once it hits the grill, and you want all those fatty bits on there. But the hard fat never renders down.
No.
So you want to get as much of it off as you can.
Okay, that's looking really good so far, Key.
I'm just going to turn this over.
Yep, I'll hold it for you. Sometimes this can be a 2-woman job.
Okay, so we're going to take off this bit that's kind of just like floating in outer space there. And you see this really, really, really hard bit? That bit is not going to cook down at all. So that's super, super hard. We want to start going at that and making sure that we're going to get it out. So we like to start on one end like that and just sort of make these cuts as we go in.
It's a good looking knife too. It's nice and sharp.
Yeah.
You don't want to be just hacking away.
No.
You want to make sure your knife is nice and sharp.
And we like using a boning knife like this because you can use the tip of the knife that's very, very sharp and just sort of guide it through and keep doing small cuts as it's coming away from the fat like that. See that kind of technique? There we go. And then as it's releasing, you're pulling back and letting the fat sort of guide itself off. Okay.
This is some interesting camera work here.
Yeah. And then we're going to go the other way. And then we have a bowl here just for these scraps. There's really not much you can do with that. So we always say that we like to...
Four Seasons Barbecue. Hello. Happy Friday afternoon.
So we always say we don't like to waste our scraps, but there's not much you can do with these scraps because they are so hard. That's not something that you want to make a stock with or anything like that.
No. Okay, so keep it going, Key. That's looking really good. Smokin' Joe saying he does take brisket seriously. And you know what, guys? There's nothing wrong with that. When it comes to barbecue, we always just like to say sometimes it can be taken too seriously, and then you actually end up getting frightened from it, and you don't even want to try it. I remember years ago, we were actually, when we first did our first brisket, we were like, okay, what's gonna happen here? We're making a brisket, but you just got to dive in, and that's how you learn.
Exactly. Absolutely.
Okay, that's looking really good, Key. We'll bring you guys back down.
And this isn't something that you want to rush. You want to just take your time with this. Once you take something off, you can't put it back on. So you want to make sure that you're taking your time.
Yeah.
Okay. So how's everybody doing? What's everybody up to this weekend?
Yeah, so as Kiki's doing that, guys, so you guys know when it comes to our videos, we like talking to you guys. We like asking questions. So because we've just started doing these live streams, we were like, this is a great opportunity to get to know you guys a little bit better. So with that being said, we know there's tons of people here who are barbecue family members, who are culinary chefs and all that kind of thing. So we want to know, when you guys are not grilling or cooking, what do you like to do for fun? Because we're, okay, wow.
Sorry. Sorry,
wow,
guys.
you don't want to be whipping that around like a sword. You almost took my eye out.
Sorry, honey.
So yeah, so we want to know, what do you guys like to do when you're not in the kitchen, when you're not by your pit? What do you like to do? Kiki, hit us up. What do you like to do when you're not cooking?
Started off. I'm focusing on this brisket, so you start
okay,
off.
all right. Kiki's really dialed into this right
I'm
now.
serious brisket, guys. Okay, I'm on serious brisket time right now.
Okay, so I want to hear what you guys have to say about that. But when I'm not cooking or grilling or outside cooking up a storm, I love to paint. Anything.
She's a good painter, guys.
I do love to paint anything abstract. Right now I'm working on a series of birds. Maybe I can show you guys, if you guys head over to our Instagram, maybe I can add it to the story sometime. But I'd love to know what you guys like to do when you're not cooking, because I know a lot of the people who watch us, there are some amazing barbecue chefs out there. A lot of different people who like to do mixology, which is very cool. I also really am interested in that. Oh, Brian said I ride my motorcycle and play Destiny 2. Okay, Brian, what is Destiny 2? Is that for PS? Is it what is it now? PS4?
I don't know. What's the most recent
Is
one?
it PS18? I don't know. Okay, and David is saying, does drinking count? David, you know what? It can count, okay? Because I really actually like mixology. Mixology is like a science in itself. So if you're just cracking a beer, maybe that's not so much of an activity, but it is too. It is too.
I think that counts.
I think it does too.
Especially during COVID when there's really not much else to do. I think that's what a lot of people have taken it.
Okay,
Oh, Daddy Dutch.
Hi, Kent. How are you? Nice to see you here. Happy Friday. Brian said it's a video game. I know, but Brian, which video game? Is it PS4? I don't know. Is that the latest PlayStation? Okay, Brittany's saying she loves writing for fun and for her career. Cool.
Well, that's really cool.
Okay, and I think, Brittany, I know that you mean to say Maddie and not Madrid because you know what? That autocorrect always does Madrid instead of Maddie. So she's saying she didn't know I painted, but yeah, I really love to paint. So does Kiki.
Yes.
We both love to paint, actually.
Yes, we do.
Okay, and then Brian also is saying, oh shoot, Brittany was an art major and journalism. That is so awesome. See, that's why this is cool, guys. That's why we've really been enjoying the live streams because we're getting to know everybody much better. And that's to us, that is so much fun. So that's very cool information, Brittany. Brian also saying that he likes to scuba dive.
Ooh.
I could totally go for some scuba. I've never done that before. I don't think you have.
No, I haven't either.
Brian, we might have to hit you up for some info on that, some tips on that. Okay, so let's just go down into the... Oh, everybody's saying hi to everybody, and I love that everyone knows each other here.
I know, me too.
Oh, Kevin's here. Hi, Kevin.
Hi, Kevin.
How are you today? Happy Friday. Kiki's, okay, for people who just hopped on, Kiki's right in the middle of trimming up this beautiful, luscious brisket, everybody. And I don't know about you guys, but I think it's kind of funny / cruel that Kiki doesn't get to try this, and yet she's the one trimming it.
I don't know if that's funny, okay? Because
I said it's funny / cruel.
when we were making these, when we finished the brisket yesterday and made the burnt ends, let me tell you guys, I really did want to try it.
I know, that's not funny.
Burnt ends smell almost like that. That is a smell that you just can't recreate.
Oh, it's so
with anything
true.
else.
It's so true. Okay, what's Ken saying? This. Okay, I'm thinking he's meaning to say sucks. This sucks. You two are prepping brisket, and I'm stuck at work. Kent, I'm sorry about that. That does suck. But Ken, do you have tomorrow off? Are you a Monday to Friday kind of guy?
Oh, that would be nice.
Because if you are, it's Friday. Thank goodness Friday's here. Kiki, that's looking really, really good.
Yeah.
Let's show everybody what's happening here.
So like I said, guys, this is a process that takes a long time. You want to take your time at it. You don't want to rush. You want to take off little bits. I've taken the top off here because that's a part that, sorry, not to cut you. That's
okay.
a part that it was just kind of flapping out. So we want to make sure to take that off. This is all very, it's up to your own discretion. Every brisket is going to look a little bit different.
And we also want to be clear, guys, that when it comes to brisket, let me just move the camera over a little bit like this. When it comes to brisket, we are preparing this brisket for our families to eat. So if you were to enroll in a barbecue competition and you're doing brisket, you might want to trim it a little bit more aggressively. Okay,
yes,
so
that's a good point.
We're not taking a lot off because we want to eat the majority of it, and we're not being judged on it.
Yes.
So judging when it comes to barbecue, there's different categories and there's different criteria required to judge a brisket. So we're ignoring that. We're making it for our taste, and we want the majority of the meat on here. Okay, so Helenda's, you guys know that we work with one of our local butchers named Helenda's. And so they were very generous. They gave us 2 briskets. So we have one that we've already smoked because, like we said, we don't have time we're not going to be on here for 11 hours or 11 or 12 hours. So we're very grateful that they were able to give those to us.
Yes. And like
I said, TGIF. I'm so glad about that.
Barbecue Man said he's never had brisket burnt ends. What? And you call yourself Barbecue Man?
Barbecue Man, come on. Okay, if he lived closer, I would literally walk this over to him right now. Not this, the brisket burnt ends, not the uncooked one.
Brisket burnt ends are just fantastic. They're just, that to me is just next level. You've got that sweet and salty combination. We added maple syrup to ours.
You guys know we're Canadian girls. We add it to everything. Three Stooges is saying, leave the fat on. I want my heart attack. Okay, so we don't want that to happen.
No.
But I like that Three Stooges is saying that because we are not taking off an excessive amount of fat here. We're taking off, like Kiki said, like look at this part here that Kiki's trimming. This is the really, really hard fat, okay? So that part is not going to render down. That's not like your typical fat that will render down.
No,
so that's not going to go anywhere. That's actually just going to make it have a gross mouth feel when you're actually eating this brisket.
Yeah.
So we don't want that to happen. Okay, Key, that's looking really, really good.
Yep, just little by little here.
Ken saying, oh, you are being judged. We're enrolled in a barbecue competition right now, even if we didn't mean to.
If we were being judged right now, we would be squaring this off a lot more. So in competitions.
Yeah, so like what Kiki's saying here, guys, is this part would be literally right here, would be cut all down there, like right here. It needs to be the proper shape. And like, because see how right here, I don't know if you guys can see, it goes thick to thin. This thin part would start to curl up, making a pool of juice right here. And you might think when it comes to brisket, you might think, well, the juicier the better. And that's true. However, when that little corner starts to curl up, it pools, preventing a nice, beautiful bark to form. And we are all about that bark. You don't want juice pooling when it comes to brisket. You want everything, like Kiki said at the beginning, you want it aerodynamic, and you want the juices to evenly fall into the barbecue.
Yes, or into a grill pan if you're using one.
Yeah. Okay, Pickles is in here. Hello, Pickles.
Hi, Pickles.
Pickles knows everybody. Charlie, you are wonderful. He knows everybody. And he's cooking with Stephen and Jacqueline are doing his My People. Did I get that right, Charlie? Let's leave it to him. That wasn't quite accurate.
Yeah, honey, I think you nailed it. I think that's good.
You do?
That's pretty spot on.
You knew it. You knew it.
I love it.
Everyone, I love this community because everybody knows everybody. So guys, whoever's just coming on right now, we are asking everybody, because we are just starting to get to know everybody a little bit more in this, what we call a wacky YouTube community, because we all are pretty wacky for being here in this community. We want to know, when you guys aren't at your grill or you're not in the kitchen, what do you like to do for fun? So some people said scuba diving. Some people said Destiny 2, which we found out is a video game.
Yep, I wasn't quite sure of that.
Me neither. I said painting. Kiki, let's share yours.
Okay, so one of my main things that I love to do when I'm not on the barbecue is shrooming. Okay?
Yes.
Looking for wild mushrooms on my farm. It's one of my favorite things to do. I find it absolutely addicting because you never know what you're going to find out there. You find a big patch of morels. It's like, oh Lord, what am I going to do with all
It's like
these?
a jackpot.
Yes.
I don't know if Kiki would get as excited about finding like a pot of gold as she would like a patch of morels.
Yes, I know. It's so true.
Okay, and Charlie saying you need to drop down a few octaves. Okay, yeah. It might be a little bit more of a high-pitched version of yours, Charlie, but I think it was there. I think it was almost there.
I think it's pretty spot on, honey. I'm okay with it.
Okay, Jesse James is saying most beautiful brisket trimmers I've ever seen. Jesse, you are too sweet. Thank you for saying that. Thank you for tuning in. We hope you're having a nice Friday. Is anyone working tomorrow? I'm sure some people in the chat are probably working on a Saturday, and I'm sorry that there's so much Friday talk, because this is probably just like another day for you guys, because not everybody works Monday or does the typical Monday to Friday.
Dirt track racing, Daddy Dutch, very interesting.
Oh, cool.
That is very, very interesting.
Like, does that mean is that like like dirt bikes?
Yes, I believe it is. Yeah.
That would be cool. That would be actually very, very cool.
Daddy Dutch, do you live in the country? Because a lot of people in the country do.
Daddy on 2 wheels or 4. Oh, someone's asking. Okay, that's so cool.
Okay, I'm gonna get washed up, and
Okay, we're putting that into the wash because you're gross. You wiped your hands on it.
Yep, hang on a second. Let me just get washed up.
Okay. Okay, and so guys, I like messing around on the guitar. That's cool. Charlie, I feel like you have a good singing voice. I really do feel like you have a good singing voice. A lot of people saying they like the racing. Okay, so guys, Kiki's just getting washed up. And, oh, did you cut yourself a little bit, Kiki?
No.
Okay, I thought you did. That's okay. So then, well, let's show you guys the brisket. Okay.
We're not done yet, though. I just want to keep it moving so we can get to the final product because that's what it's all about, guys. So, Maddie, why don't you explain what we put on the brisket once it's finished being trimmed?
Okay. So now that the brisket's ready to roll, okay, now what we do is we put mustard onto the brisket. Okay, so this is just a regular, this one is an organic mustard, but you don't have to use that. You can just use your regular ballpark mustard. Okay, so I'll show you guys what that looks like here. Okay.
Oh, that's going to be good, honey.
That is going to be good. Okay, so then now,
And we like to use this as a binder. So first and foremost, before you put the rub on, you need something for the rub to stick to.
yeah.
So you could use, a lot of people use pickle juice for this, a mixture of mustard or pickle juice. We like straight up
That already smells so good.
ballpark mustard. Okay? What are people saying? What is the backpack kid dance? I would like to know. Pickles?
Oh, I think I know that one. I think it's like the, I don't know how to do it, but isn't it the one that's like when the kid's going like that or something?
I don't know. You're not really dancing.
Yeah, I know.
not
It's not
sure.
a dance. It's like a weird, it is kind of like a dance. Okay, I want to keep one hand good here. So when you're putting on the rub, I always like to keep one hand good so I can still, one hand clean, so I can still get mustard on the other side of the brisket. So we're just going to be, I'll show you guys what's going on here.
Ooh, that is
Okay.
looking really good, honey.
Okay, Kent is saying Worcestershire sauce on beef. Yes, that is a match made in heaven.
So we always love adding Worcestershire once we've cubed up the finished brisket before it's going to head to burn ends. And that's what we've done with the final product here. We don't tend to do it at this stage, but that would be just as delicious.
Okay, so guys, today we are using this rub by one of our barbecue friends. That's the One Barbecue, and this is the hot beef hammer. So I'll show you guys that. And we love the name.
It's got a
great
funny name. It is got a funny name.
Okay, and then you just put it right over the brisket. And we don't like to, even though this is called a rub, we don't really like to rub it in there because you end up just rubbing it right off onto your hands.
But this is normally we don't even use a rub. Maddie and I are straight up salt and pepper girls, but we wanted to try this hot beef hammer because
We've heard it's good. Have you guys tried this one?
it has a funny name and it's spicy. We love spicy food. Who here in the group loves spicy food?
Okay. And now we're just going to flip it around again. Lots of flipping. And another thing when it comes to brisket, where a lot of people have questions about is, do you smoke it fat cap up or fat cap down? And I'd like to hear what people have to say about that in the comments, because for us personally, it all comes down to preference. It's all what you want to do.
I knew Pickles loves spicy. Pickles said he loves spicy food. He is our kind of guy. You can't go wrong with overly spicy. This really smells spicy too, actually.
Yeah, it does. Try not to sneeze here. It smells wonderful, actually.
And being the good Canadian girls that we are, we smoked our brisket yesterday using sugar maple. So depending on where you guys are in the world, when we were down in Chicago, everybody was talking about using post oak down there.
And that's also a Texas, I'm pretty sure it's a Texas thing too. So I'll show you guys what this looks like. Look at how good that's looking.
That is looking fantastic, honey.
Okay, so now I'm going to wash my hands. We have our pit going outside already.
Spicy.
It is spicy. It's spicy. That was half cough, half sneeze.
Steven and Jacqueline like spicy too.
Spicy here. Okay, spicy for us too. I'm going to wash my hands.
All right. Pickles just said fat cap toward the heat to protect the beef. So that is a theory that we've heard a lot of different times. There is no right or wrong answer. That is literally just preference. So some people think that the fat cap up for that very reason is correct. Fat cap toward the heat. But some people think fat cap up is better. And that just because then the fat can sort of render down into the meat, keep it nice and juicy. There's really no wrong answer. We've done fat cap up yesterday.
Brian saying if you were wearing gloves, you wouldn't have to wash your hands. That's true. But guys, I don't know about you, when it comes to wearing gloves, we feel like you're more likely to probably cross-contaminate. So if you'll notice, I kept one hand that wasn't touching the meat, so I could touch these as I was going. So that's just, again, it's a personal preference thing. That's what we do. Brian clearly is a glove wearer, and there's nothing wrong with that.
No.
Okay, so guys, this is going to go into the pit now. It's looking fabulous. It's pretty heavy, and it's trimmed great. It looks wonderful.
Yes. That was looking fantastic. We're on points. We've got the grill fired up, ready to go today. We're using the Weber Summit Charcoal Grill. That's what we used yesterday when we did the burnt ends.
Charlie's washed his hands with gloves. Yeah, I have to say I've done that before too because we are hand washers. We wash our hands like 85 times throughout a cook, basically. I've done that too with gloves. It's just like a natural thing that you do sometimes.
Yes. So today we're in Maddie's kitchen, and we've got the Summit fired up. Yesterday we were at my house, and we have a Summit in both locations, and we used the Summit for the brisket burn ends yesterday just to keep it consistent.
Yes, there was something else I wanted to say. So we were talking about fat cap up, fat cap versus fat cap down, and I just lost my train of thought.
Okay, maybe you'll get it back. Okay, Brittany Caldwell just said, my mom instilled the fear of touching meat in me, so I always wear gloves. I think a lot of people have that.
I think that's common. Brittany, you're not alone here. A lot of people in the chat are saying that too. And there's nothing wrong with that.
No.
As long as you're clean, whether you're wearing gloves, whether your hands are completely bare, the main thing to know is just keep it clean.
I think a lot of people don't really like the texture of touching raw meat, and that's perfectly fine. I personally like getting in there, but if you don't, that's definitely your choice, Brittany.
Okay, Pit Smoke is saying hello, happy Friday to you.
Hi, Pit Smoke.
Of course, he's saying hi to Charlie because everybody knows Charlie. That's wonderful. Okay.
Jesse James, thank you for the support. He's saying it looks awesome. Wait till you see the brisket burn ends when they're done. You haven't seen anything yet. Okay, so let's fast forward 12 hours later. This one goes on the grill. Honey, let's see the finished ones.
Okay, let me go get them because I can't wait to try them. Let me just put this off to the side.
Okay, so we're ready.
Oh, I remember what I was going to say.
Uh-oh.
Okay, so smoke ring. Go with me on this, guys.
Okay.
I want to hear what our friends have to say.
Yeah.
Okay? Just cooking with the guys, fat kept down to protect the meat. Okay, that's what they're saying.
A lot of people
That's
think,
what they're
a lot of people prefer that. It really depends on your preference. And if you've done a few briskets, it depends on what you think. Try it both ways. See
We've
which
done
one you
it both.
prefer.
We've done it both. To us, we don't think that it's that much of a difference.
Especially when you're using the Weber Summit charcoal grill or any other grill that has a diffuser plate. The diffuser plate sort of protects it anyway.
Yeah.
So you don't need to worry about that heat being directly under and scorching the meat if it gets something.
But you're right. That's definitely based on pit, the pit that you're using.
Yeah.
So that's actually a really good point. What I want to say about smoke ring. Okay, so I want to know what you guys have to think or what you guys have to say about smoke ring, because a lot of people think whether meat is fresh and cold from the fridge, I've heard the theory that a lot of people think that makes a thicker, more vibrant colored smoke ring.
Mm-hmm.
I want to hear if people have to say that if in their experience they've seen that too. Some people say you get a more pronounced smoke ring if you let the meat come to room temperature. I feel we have tested tons of briskets before. We've made tons. We've done it both. I don't know if that really affects it.
I think a lot of people have a lot of superstitions when it
There's
comes to
a lot of
smoke ring.
mystique and mystery around it because a lot of people, you're right, a lot of people have different theories, but I'd love to know what people have to say about
Whether it's the spritz, whether it's the wrap, whether it's the wood choice, a lot of people have their own superstitions. We're not going to spritz. We didn't spritz the burn ends yesterday. What we did was add a liquid before we wrapped.
We do wrap. We
yes,
do wrap.
It not in foil, but in butcher paper. So about halfway through, we wrapped in butcher paper, had a little bit of a savory, sweet liquid going in there.
You got to have the savory. You got to have the sweet. ST Sandu saying you guys have been pumping out a lot of content. Thank you very much. Thank you for noticing. We're really having fun with our YouTube journey so far.
Yes.
And we're having a blast. It's not going to end anytime soon. So
No.
you guys better be ready for us, okay? Because we're not going away. Okay, on that note, let me get this off to the side and bring over.
So when we wrapped halfway through yesterday, guys, we put in some soy, some apple cider vinegar, a little maple syrup. Barbecue Man wants to know, how long do we rest the brisket? Very, very good question. And the answer is
Barbecue Man coming out with a good question.
He's really got them today.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Oh,
first of
so
all,
good.
check that.
Get those out of my face.
Oh, I'm
That's
sorry.
not even
I'm
fair.
sorry.
It just smells so like brisket on its own is fantastic. Then you turn it into burnt ends.
I know
and
burnt
it's like,
ends are like next level.
okay, so how long do we rest the brisket for? We try to rest it as long as we can.
Yes.
Okay. You don't want to touch it. That's when it has the opportunity to keep it. It gets so nice and juicy. All the sort of juices get redistributed throughout the meat before you slice it. If you slice it too early, those juices are going to end up on your cutting board and not in the brisket itself.
Which you know what has become very popular in like
What's
the
that?
social media world, which I agree because we've done it before too.
What?
when you slice that beautiful brisket, when you're usually slicing it, the point is where it gets really, really juicy.
Super juicy.
So you slice it and then you squeeze it for the camera. And like, I understand that it's all about that shot. It's the money shot. However,
But you're like, there goes the juice.
I know.
You've lost it.
All the resting that you've done, you waited hours for this thing to come off. It's smelling wonderful. And then just for social media, you give it the old squash down for the juices. It breaks my heart. I've done it too. You've done it too. We do it too.
But see, just cooking with the guy says cold meat for better smoke ring. That's a good point. But
see, that's his theory. That's his theory. There's, guys, it's theory based. A lot of people have different opinions on that.
But on the other hand, though, meat that is room temperature will cook more evenly because it's already an equal temperature.
Yes.
So it's a trade-off. Do you want to get a smoke ring or do you want it to cook evenly? Because think about how big some sections of a brisket are and then they go down to narrow. If the big part is still ice cold and the narrow part is starting to warm up, you're getting uneven cooking already.
But maybe people are like, I don't care. I want the smoke ring.
Hey, we're all after that smoke ring, guys. I'm not going to lie about
I
that.
know.
All right. I would like you to try one of these before I lose my mind because
Okay.
I feel like a dog just drooling down right now because these smell fantastic.
Okay, and as you guys know, if you watched our videos before, Kiki always makes me a bite, but am I making my own bite on this? Do I get my pick of the bite?
No.
You're
I'm
making
gonna
me-
make you a bite. No, sorry. I still want to
Wow,
get
I
in
thought
there.
I had this whole beautiful tray here, and I thought that I got to pick here. I
No.
thought Kiki was gonna.
Okay, I'm going to make you a
She
bite.
was just about to slap my hand away.
Yeah, I still want to get involved even though I can't eat it, okay? Barbecue Man said I've seen some people inject their brisket.
Okay, that's also very, very controversial.
Okay, honey, you answer. I'm going to look for the best bite.
Okay, it's a very controversial question, and again, I feel like it depends. It comes down to preference. A lot of people, actually, some barbecue competitions will forbid any injection because it is. Don't you feel like it's borderline? I don't want to say cheating, but it's not. It's not traditional in barbecue. Barbecue, if you set your pit up properly, if you season it properly, if you make sure temperature, you don't have crazy temperature fluctuations, there is no need to inject a brisket, or a lot of people inject turkeys and stuff. There's no need for that. If you want to do it to inject different flavors, yes, that's going to make it taste different, and if you're doing it to get it to be more succulent, it's unnecessary.
Although one thing we learned from Harry Sue when we were in Chicago last summer is that Harry, as many of you know, does so many competitions.
I think he's the most awarded man or person in barbecue history. I don't want to just say that. I don't know if that's true.
He does a ton.
He's won like every award that you can win.
He has done so much, and he taught us that as opposed to being at home, so when you serve your family some brisket, you don't want it to be super salty because you want people to have multiple pieces of it, enjoy it at a backyard barbecue, okay, that sort of thing. But if it's a competition, every judge is only going to eat one bite.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where he gets into injecting because he wants to season the meat from the inside out.
So just that one bite is a perfectly seasoned bite.
And
so
it's super salty.
It's like he got in the mind of the judges and was like, I'm going to think about just one bite, making it the best.
Daddy
possible
just said that.
Yeah, okay, see? That's right.
It's so true. So you want to make sure for a competition versus at-home cooking, completely different. So injection is very controversial because it's just like talking about apples and oranges.
Yes, and that's why we don't really like to say, a lot of people, that's going to be the bite. A lot of people like to say there are hard and fast rules in barbecue. And again, that's their personal opinion. We don't like to say that because if anything, we want you basically just to get out there and try it. Okay,
Yes.
So just have fun. Don't get so scared that it prevents you from even doing it. Because
No.
I think that a lot of people, brisket is known as like the barbecue of all barbecue. It is the most scary one to do because of the amount of hours. The fact that this is a very, very expensive cut.
Yes.
A full packer brisket. We got two of them. They were each $100. So that's $200 worth of meat. And I don't know about you guys, but that is the thought of messing that up is terrifying.
Exactly. And it does make quite a bit. And obviously people aren't going to eat a ton of it because it is so rich. But that's true. That is a factor when people are making brisket.
Totally.
And Pickles is right. Wagyu brisket, it's the same thing. It's like you can't eat a whole plate of that. That's for sure.
Yeah. And Ken's saying the exact same thing. Ken, we said the same thing. You're right. Family, when you're cooking for your family, it's completely different than when you're cooking for a barbecue competition.
Yeah, absolutely. In so many different ways.
On that note, I'm drooling already. I'm trying not to drool as I'm talking.
Okay.
And let's just show you guys again up close what these beautiful burnt ends look like. They look fantastic. They smell fantastic.
So once the briskets come off, we put some apple cider vinegar in there. We put a little bit of butter, a little soy. What else did we put in there?
Worcestershire.
Worcestershire.
You
Yeah,
got it.
that's
Ted
right.
said Worcestershire. He said Worcestershire.
Okay, so honey, I have you the perfect bite. You got some of the bark. You've got some of the meat. You've got some of the sauce. I think this is going to be fantastic.
Okay, don't get too close to it. Stop.
Oh, it smells super smoky. We love smoky with sugar maple because I feel like it definitely has a maple smell to it.
Okay, just cooking with the guys is saying, can we run a Sammy down there to Texas? If I could, I would, and so would Kiki. I would piggyback you there. That would be fun.
It would be a long journey.
That would be fun, but that's the only thing bad about live streaming is that I feel extra mean right now because I get to try it and no one else can.
All right, honey, here we go.
Okay, it's my time now.
Okay.
Let's do this.
We're all aboard the brisket train,
Let's do
guys.
it. Let's
Here
do
we
it.
go. It's coming
Okay,
in.
wow, it's a bumpy
It's
ride.
coming in.
Everyone's like, if anyone's just tuning in, they're probably like, what the heck is this?
Okay, stay still because we don't want you to choke.
Mine.
You don't even need teeth for that. It's so succulent. You can cut that with a butter knife.
You know what? That's a good point.
Hey, Maddie and Kiki's motto, you don't even need teeth for that.
It is so succulent, guys. Texture-wise, it's there. They refer to this as meat candy because it is. It's sweet. It's salty. It's so beefy.
Once it goes back into the smoker, once you've added on the maple syrup, the butter, the Worcestershire, that's when, in my opinion, or from what I remember when I could eat brisket, that's when the magic happens.
Mm-hmm.
That's when it starts to get like next level. Brisket on its own is amazing. No one's trying to deny it.
It is, but this is taking it to that next level. It's beef cooked in butter. Do we have to say anything else? I'm sorry.
For those of you who are in an area of the world like Texas where maple
Oh my
syrup,
goodness, and the smokiness that there's like a nice, it's not too strong. There's like a nice after flavor of the smoke, the sugar maple. Absolutely delicious.
so as I was saying, if you're in a part of the world where maple syrup isn't as readily available, try to get some to just try and burnt ends if you're going to make them, because we just really, really recommend it. It adds a level of rich flavor that you're not going to get from brown sugar or white sugar.
Agreed. And Pickles is saying walking up and grabbing his hoodie that he smoked with the day before. You know what? Anyone who's ever grilled knows that feeling. He nailed it. It's actually, and if you're a girl and you smoke, the next day with your hair, you're like,
That's me today.
wonderful.
We made the burnt ends yesterday. I didn't wash my hair. Here I am. I'm like, yeah, that's me. On my drive over, I'm like, what smells like beef?
Yeah.
It's me.
It's a beefy. Really beefy.
You don't want to go too far when you smoke the brisket. You're in the store, people are like, where's that coming from? Smells good, but I think it's your hair.
Yeah. Okay, and on that note, guys, if you're new to our videos, you know there's always something that comes with a taste test. I just want to keep tasting this. Because you know what?
What?
Oh my god, that was a good bite.
I can hear how succulent it is.
It tastes so good! We're doing this live!
What? I can't even hear you.
I said, we're doing this live for the first time ever. It makes me feel like dancing!
I guess.
Yep.
I could give it a little of this.
Yep.
Little of that. I didn't taste it, but
Yeah, it tastes good. I'm
Yeah.
tasting it for everybody. We're dancing for everybody. It's
ooh,
strong.
Daddy Dutch at Canadian Jim sent me a full case of maple syrup. Gotta love
Awesome.
that.
That is nice. We need to know who Canadian Jim is.
Yeah, Canadian Jim. I wonder if he's in our neck of the woods.
Okay, we need tunes next time because this is just
Mhm.
dancing without tunes, but it's still fun.
Brian, yes, you can find a recipe for our brisket burnt ends on our Instagram. Okay. We can also post it to our website if you're interested.
Okay, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. I'm gonna keep going with these burnt ends because they are so good.
Those look fantastic.
Yeah.
I want them.
So you guys have a great day. Thank you guys for watching. Have a fantastic weekend, and we'll see you guys next Friday for another live stream because we are absolutely loving these.
Have a great weekend, everybody. We'll see
Happy
you
Friday
soon.
night, everybody. Bye, barbecue family.
Bye, guys. Stay safe.